What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 build video. Now shout out to the DoD Disciples of Doom. So in this build video I'm going to show you guys my Waveform crit build. I've had this for some time, but obviously just like you guys have seen with the release of Title Update 12, everyone and their mom was showing a cool Waveform build. So I was hoping that somebody would do something similar to this, but I have yet to see it. So this is my Waveform crit build. I hope you guys like it, and I'm going to do this a little bit differently. So I'm going to do the build breakdown first, and then afterwards I'll do some live gameplay with you guys. So maybe I'll go and kill the main boss south of the White House. Maybe I'll go to Lincoln Memorial. I don't know. We'll see at the end of the video. But without further ado, here is my Waveform crit build. And here it is. So there are a few different ways to run this, but this is primarily just for PVE, not PvP. PvP is a whole different monster. So in PvP, I would probably use the test subject with perfect in sync. But for PVE, I would highly recommend the capacitor, because we all know in a previous video that I did that the capacitor, once you have all 40 stacks, it hits a lot harder than perfectly in sync. So I'll show you guys that at the firing range as well. But here we are right here. So the philosophy of this build is I wanted to make sure that skill damage was either maxed out or somehow on every piece of gear. So I have skill damage on every piece of gear, and then after that I went and added crit. So there's way more skill damage involved than there is crit, but this is still a hybrid. Now going straight to the stats for the crit, on the capacitor I am at 46.8 crit chance and 108 crit damage. Actually, I just got a better crit chance mod. Yeah, so I actually just got a better crit chance mod. Because just like you guys, I'm forever farming for better mods. So I think that I've got, there it is. Look at that. Not bad. So now if I go to my stats, I'm at 47.1 crit chance and 108 crit damage, and this is on an all skill build. So if I jump straight down to my drone, I'm at tier 6 with 52 skill haste, and then a whole lot of damage, 85.2k base damage, and then 17k PvP damage. And then if I go to my turret, again, skill tier 6, 52 skill haste, and then a whole buttload of damage, 138.8k, and then for PvP it drops down to 34.7. But remember that I'm not PvPing with this, I am strictly PvEing with this. So it's a lot easier to use skill builds in PvE opposed to PvP. Now looking at the specialization, I am using the Technician specialization. And the Technician specialization gives me that +1 skill tier, but it also gives me 10% skill damage. So it's very vital to use that. You can use that with all 6 yellows like I'm doing right now, or if you're able to, you can switch it up to like either run like 1 blue or 1 red. However, the way that I have all of this gear rolled, I'll show you real quick. So you can see where I've had to roll a attribute on each piece of gear. So if I somehow was able to get like that god rolled skill damage crit, then I'd be able to roll one of my core attributes off for either a blue or a red. But for right now, everything is skill damage and crit, and then I have skill tier across the board. Now that's why I am using the Technician specialization. Now as far as my weapons, let's get into that. All of these are all skill build related. So starting with my primary, I'm at the capacitor. Now this is the new exotic AR that came in the game in Title Update 12. What's cool about this weapon is that the more stacks you get from your AR, the more skill damage you get. And your base damage for your weapon will increase accordingly with the number of skill tiers that you have. So it depends on how many skill tiers you have, it'll bump up your base damage, and then the more damage you do with that weapon, the more skill damage you get. So it's actually like an all-around, like perfect synergy weapon for a skill build. Not only are you getting weapon damage out of it, but you're also getting skill damage out of it, which is really cool. Now, if this weapon looks familiar, it's because it is the exotic PDR, I believe it's called. And the named version of it is the test subject, and then you have the normal PDR, and then of course this exotic, which is the capacitor. Now this one's at 72.4k total damage. That's with max AR damage, 10% damage to armor, and 8.5% health damage. I do not have a god rolled one yet, but maybe in the future. Now going back to that talent, Capacitance is the name of the talent, and it says shooting enemies will build a stack that caps at 40. Each stack will contain 1.5 skill damage, and after 5 seconds you'll lose 1 stack. So again, for your base damage, each of your skill tiers will give you 7.5% weapon damage. And of course we're at 6 skill tiers. So what's that? That's 72? Is that 70? Hold on. So that's 6, so 48. So 48% damage just off of my skill tier. And then of course you get the 40 stacks, which give you skill damage. And remember that using this at full stacks will give you more skill damage than perfectly in sync, which kind of goes into my secondary weapon, the Harmony. Now the Harmony is that named rifle with perfectly in sync. So whenever I get weapon damage and skill damage at the same time, I will get 40% weapon damage and 40% skill damage. Sounds really good, but for some reason that capacitor still does better. Now this Harmony is at 146.8k total damage. That's with max rifle damage, 13% crit damage, and then max damage to targets out of cover. It's a lot of fun to use, especially if you are in cover. And then for my sidearm, I am using the TDI Custom. It is your named card pistol. And what this one does is it gives you +1 skill tier, which would be nice if I needed it, but I don't. And I also rolled in sync on here as well, just in case I have to use it, I'll get more skill damage. So you can see that within all of these weapons, they all revolve around giving me more weapon damage and giving me more skill damage. So, you know, it's really good to use. And especially with a little bit of crit, so then your AR actually feels like it's doing damage and your skills do the rest of the work. So you don't necessarily have to stick in cover, but it is nice. Now going to the build itself. I am running 3-piece of Empress International. Did I say it right this time? Yeah, Empress International. And then I am running 2-piece Hanayu Corporation with the new exotic holster, the Waveform. Now that's its own thing, and we'll talk about it here in a second. But let's get through the build itself. So, starting with the mask, I am using the Empress International mask. Now the Empress International brand set bonus I get from this build, 10% skill health, 10% skill damage, and then 10% skill efficiency. Now remember, the skill efficiency gives you the status effects, skill damage, skill haste, skill duration, blah 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 blah. It gives you everything revolved around skills, which is perfect for this build. Now, of course, the core attribute for every piece of gear I have is going to be a skill tier. And then this one came with crit damage at 10.4, and then I rolled max skill damage at 10%. And then for the mod, I chose the crit chance at 5.7. Going to the backpack, this is the Force Multiplier. It is the named Hanayu backpack with perfect combined arms. Now, perfect combined arms is a perfect match for this build because I am using crit and I am using an AR that I need to keep stacks up. So it only makes sense to use perfect combined arms with that because you are getting skill damage of 30% every time you shoot an enemy. And this keeps re-procking every time you shoot an enemy. So yes, it only says for 3 seconds, but if you are continuously shooting enemies, it will forever be procced. So just remember that. Every time you're shooting an enemy with a crit hybrid skill build, you'll be able to get more skill damage. Now, as far as the Hanayu brand set bonuses for this build, 10% skill haste and 10% skill damage. Now, of course, the core attribute is that skill tier, and then the normal attributes, I have 9.9 skill damage, and then I rolled 12% crit damage. For the mod slot, I chose 6% crit chance. Going to the gloves, Empress International again, and then this one has crit damage at 10.6, and then max skill damage. So you can see that everything on every piece of gear, except for the Waveform, has skill damage and then crit. Going to the chest piece. Now here's another controversial talent. I'm running glass cannon. A lot of you out there love nothing but skills and swear that kinetic momentum's the best in the world, and it's not. It just simply isn't. Glass cannon amplified damage is the hardest hitting talent for a chest piece you can use for your skill builds. You can even double down and use the sacrifice for even more amplified damage. If you're playing conservatively, go for it. But for this one, the way I have it set up is I couldn't really use the sacrifice because I'm using the Waveform. If I was not using the Waveform, I could use 2 Hanayu and then just change the chest piece to a sacrifice chest piece, and then I could still have the 6 skill tier from the technician. I believe I have one on my character. Let me see. So here's this one, the sacrifice, and you can see I have skill haste and skill damage. What that does is works perfectly with the technician because look, if I were to equip this, you can see that my skills are still at tier 6 because of that technician, and then my base damage on my capacitor actually went up. So it's a win-win. However, for this build, having crit, I would rather have a little bit more skill damage to go with my crit and less incoming damage. So with that being said, I am switching back to my Hanayu with glass cannon. So this Hanayu came with crit chance at 3.7%, and then I rolled skill damage at 10%. Of course, for the mod, more crit, this time crit chance at 5.7. Now the glass cannon talent, what this does is it amplifies all damage by 25%. However, you will have incoming damage, which is amplified by 50%. So yes, you do get hit a lot, you are squishy, however, you are doing a buttload of damage downrange. This is not for solo play. I mean, you could do it, and maybe we'll see if no one accepts my matchmaking here at the end of the video. I might be doing it solo, but it's really risky, especially with the way they do spawns in either open world activities or even the summit, where sometimes they'll spawn from behind you on purpose to outflank you. And using glass cannon, that is the part where it might hurt, but I still do it. Now going to the gloves, Empress International, skill damage, crit damage. Knee pads, again, skill damage, and then this time crit chance. And then the Waveform. So here is the exotic holster, the Waveform. Now what this does, it's really, really cool. I think I can show you just standing right here maybe. No, I actually have to be in some form of combat. And I'll just show you real quick the indicators for the Waveform. Come on. Thank you. Alright, here we go. So you can see at the bottom of my screen, there's that orange box and it's starting to fill up. And that arrow is going to the right. So that shows that my turret right now has full waveform damage. So we go to my damage, and you can see right now I'm at 138.8. And then as it's going over to the other side, you can see now it's filling up to my left side. So now if I go back to my turret, it's actually stuck there. Interesting. And this one for some reason is missing this. Interesting. Let's just go to the targeting range. Apparently this game is bugging out a little bit. But anyways, so what the waveform does is it gives you like an hourglass type of damage buff. It goes from one skill to the other. As one fills up, the other one lessens, and so forth. It maxes out at 30% weapon damage. So I'll show you right here. Let's go to Invulnerable Elite. That way I can just sit here and show you guys how it works. And then we'll go and do some PVE. So let's do, I don't know, 5 meters, whatever. So you can see that my left is starting to fill up. Alright, so my drone is hitting at 181.2. And then now you can see that it's starting to drop down. See, 170, 168. And it's dropping down. And then my turret. Alright, and then let's do the turret. Turret's hitting for 290. And now it's starting to lower because now it's going to the other side. So it's really nice to have both of these skills going at the same time. That way, no matter what, you're still getting that skill buff from both sides. And then all you have to do is shoot every couple seconds to keep the combined arms up. And then that's it. You are good to go. So yeah, let's look at this build and then let's go test it out. So going back to this waveform. This one is not god rolled, but it's pretty close. I'm at 9.7 skill damage and max skill haste. Obviously I don't have crit on this because it's an exotic and the attributes are set in place. I wish I could put crit on here, but it is what it is. So looking at this talent that I was describing to you as like an hourglass, it says alternating current. It generates a stack of 3% skill damage on one of your skills every second. It'll cap at 10 stacks, which is 30% skill damage. After 10 seconds at cap, it'll start to transfer to your other skill, and it'll go back and forth, kind of like an hourglass. So think of flipping an hourglass on its head, watching all the sand go down to the bottom, and then once it fills up the bottom, you flip it back over and do it again. Kind of the same premise here. So with that being said, I am using the drone and turret. So my striker drone is tier 6, obviously, and it's sitting at 86.7k damage. Going to my, my assault turret, this one is at 82,000 damage and is also a tier 6. Now looking at the mods, because I don't do this a lot for my skills, showing you guys the mods. So I have duration for the ammo box, damage for the lubrication gel, and then skill haste for the carbon fiber barrel. And then going to the drone, I have deflect duration, probably because I don't have any other better mods. And then I have scan range, and then of course damage at the bottom. Now going to my stats, I showed you earlier, I'm at 47.1 crit chance with 108 crit damage on my capacitor. But enough talking about it, let's go try it out. So let's see, my open world, okay, I'm on heroic, so I hope I don't get a lot of hate mail for being on heroic. I know a lot of people are all, you know, adamant on certain difficulties. So let's try it out. I know there's a named boss here at the bottom of the fountain, and then I can try to matchmake for Lincoln Memorial, and then I'll get you guys out of here. So we'll probably end up being like a 30-minute long video, maybe 40, we'll see. But alright, here we go. And then just a little tips and tricks. If you guys did not know, there is a boss, a named boss, that spawns here every 30 seconds. And we'll check it out. Hope you guys are enjoying this. If I did not explain this to its fullest, let me know in the comment section below how I can do it better, and I'll try it out. So let's do this, do that. You can see I'm already at a 30-something stack. Now I'm at full stacks. Oh, that's a public execution. Alright, so I'm going to kill this boss and do the public execution at the same time. I don't know where my skills are, though. What are my skills doing? Oh, my drone's over there doing the public execution. Alright. Let's go over there and have some fun. Alright, so I'll put this on top of the cop car. There we go. And go to town. And you can see it's very easy to stay up at 40 stacks. Very, very easy. Oop, he's getting me from long range. Alright, let me heal up real quick. Oh, it's this guy over here to the left. I see you. Little red bar. And let me pick up my turret. Because remember, you can do that nowadays. You can see my drone just tearing that up. That's pretty cool. Now it's telling me to go all the way out here. Oh, I shot the grenade in the air. Nice. Wasn't bad. But you can see my drone's got my back. Alright. Couple more enemies, we should be done with this.
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
There we go. Oop, get my drone. Let's see where they're at. Okay. Oh, come on, turret. Why are you gonna drop like that? Don't do that. Come on. I'll put it up here. There we go. There we go. Should almost be done. There we go. So there's a public execution and a named boss in the open world. Not bad. Alright. And then just to show you guys a little bit more, let me matchmake Lincoln Memorial. I know a lot of us love to run Lincoln Memorial. See what happens. Maybe I'll get in a mission real quick. Come on.
Invite to another agent's group.
Got a visual on additional hostiles in the memorial compound. They're moving south. There's a gate between you. It looks closed from here.
Agent, you'll need to find a way to open that gate. We need you to secure the memorial and remove the True Sons' forces. If they maintain this outpost, True Sons will be a direct threat to the campus.
Vital signs critical.
Ooh, that grenader almost got me there. That would have been embarrassing. Alright, let's get a little bit closer to the action, shall we? So we did get in a match with a full squad.
All clear.
There we go.
I repeat, the
Nice.
compound is all clear.
No, that can't be all of them. Check the interior while I get Henry's people to maintain the perimeter.
Try to run through this. Actually, what's I wonder what targeted loot is today for Lincoln Memorial. Looked like it was ongoing directive. I'll check it out in a second. Try to get through this for you guys.
Anyone else see that? Copy that.
Serious trauma detected. Agent down.
Oh, what? Where'd that guy hit me from? Oh, to the right. There's a heavy to the right. No worries. Now I know. Ooh, that's one of the big heavies too. Alright. There you go, drone. Oh, it's about to die. Alright. Not too shabby. Alright.
Damn it. The True Sons have turned the memorial into a base. There's an area beneath you with increased security. Isaac can't access data on this location. Stay alert. I don't know what you're walking into.
I don't have these drops. Sorry, but I'm gonna get these real quick. Just in case I get something good. Oh, they've already popped the other ones. Oh, they must be speed running. What is the targeted loot? Hold on. Ongoing directive. Okay, it is ongoing. Just in case you guys didn't know, I do have an ongoing directive Scorpio build out. That's a lot of fun to use.
Can't afford to let the True Sons escape with those.
Yeah, these guys already hit it
Find a way
all.
to close up that tunnel.
There we go. But this isn't bad. For all of you PVE players and agents out there, actually let me know in the comments section below what kind of gameplay it is you guys enjoy. Because when it comes to PVE, it's hard to figure it out. Because sometimes I'll do speed runs and everyone wants me to do heroics. Sometimes I'll do heroics and everyone wants me to do legendaries. So just let me know, in the comment section what you guys enjoy to watch and how you would think that I should be testing these builds out, and we'll go from there.
Agent down.
I'm coming. Oh, they're both down. Okay. Do that. There we go. Am I the only one left up? Oh, okay. I was about to say. Oh, there's a heavy right here. Grenader. There we go. He's dead. Nice. Alright. Oh, behind me.
Assistance needed.
That's the worst part. I'm telling you, getting shot in the back. That's the worst part about running glass cannon. Is you don't want to get shot in the back. Because you saw right there, I barely got shot in the back, and then I lost like a quarter of my armor instantly. That was pretty bad. But we're getting through this pretty quick. They've already got all their drops. Alright, so I'm done searching for drops. Actually, isn't there a, yeah. There we go. Oh, they don't go in the underground. That's why they don't have any keys.
We can lock that tunnel door from their control
So
center.
right here should be fun.
Be able to transport those mortars loaded with DC-62.
Get to the other side. Because they spawn out of this doorway right here. Yep, there they are. And then you can see how my 40 stack is constantly procced. And so is my perfect combined arms. Except for when I'm running around like this. Alright. Easy peasy. But anyways, so I gave you guys a poll in my community tab, and I asked what builds you guys wanted to see. And after this one, I saw that a lot of you wanted the True Patriot support build, and then a lot of you wanted my one-hit sticky bomb build. Now I'll go ahead and give you a little bit more about those builds. My support True Patriot build is for PVE or PvP, and it's meant to help the entire team survive. My one-hit sticky bomb, obviously, is because everyone that I hit with my sticky bomb dies instantly, and it's a lot of fun to use, especially in PvP. PvE, it's fun, but sticky bombs are way more fun in PvE. And we're almost done with this. I'm getting, what was that, a 375 crit from my capacitor running an all skill build. It's not bad for a little crit hybrid. Yeah, hold up. Let's do this. And he's dead.
Good work. Go on and head back up. The team from the
There you guys go.
position inside the memorial.
So I showed you guys me soloing a open world boss, me soloing a what was that, hostage situation, and then me joining just some random squad doing a heroic Lincoln Memorial. This one had 3 directives on. Now I did join about halfway through this mission, so let's see what my stats looked like at the end of this. The stats that we really want to look at is overall damage and skill damage. So let's see. Let's see what happens here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to end the video after that, but first let me look at the damage I did.
Today, we dealt a great blow to the True Sun's infrastructure.
Oh, I got the sweet dreams. See that? Sweet dreams. Wow.
You should be proud. You saved a lot of lives today.
Ah, and it's almost God rolled. Wow, that's funny. Come on, show me the after. Come on, there we go. And then for skill damage, you could see I did 394 million. And then for damage total, 617 million. So just a little bit over half of my damage was from my skills, and then the other part is from my weapon. So it's almost a perfect hybrid. The only thing I would probably change, to be honest, to make it even more of a hybrid, is I'd probably take skill damage off of one of these and just do 2 crit and then roll like a weapon damage probably. That way you could just have more weapon damage and more crit. But besides that, I love this build. I think it's a great mix of skill damage and crit. Just like all builds in the game, you can make them better in one way or another. And this one's perfect for me right now. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is my capacitor waveform crit build hybrid skill damage bullshit, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit that like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.